to another episode of Mike's Garage DIY Automotive. We're going to go ahead and do another project on the Dodge Ram 1500 today, where we're going to replace the passenger side rear view mirror. We're going to remove the door panel. We're going to swap out the old part that's broken with the new part, and then we're going to put everything back together, and we're going to go over it just like the taillight, step by step, so that way you can really get a grasp on what's involved and the tools involved. So that way, if you choose to do it at home, you can feel comfortable and you have some resource to go ahead and look back on and kind of see what the process is and what's entailed. So let's go ahead and get started, and let's go over the new part. All right, guys, here we are. We're going to go ahead and open up the box and check out the part. We're going to inspect it just like the taillight, but also like the taillight. I'm not endorsed or supported or anything like that by TYC. This is another TYC part. Again, I just did my homework. They had great reviews. I was not disappointed with the taillight, obviously. It came out great. So again, I'm just going to check, make sure there's no defects with the part. Make sure everything is good on it. It's not broken. The glass is still good. Everything adjusts and moves. As you can tell on this, we're going to have to remove 3 bolts on the old one to go ahead and remove it and then reinstall the new one. And we're going to have to remove the door panel to do that. And we're going to go step by step. But this looks good, guys. Again, I'm not endorsed or sponsored by TYC at all. Again, I just did my research. They had great reviews, and that's why I went with them. Obviously, I got a good product with the taillight. We're going to go over some parts. We're going to need some tools. We're going to need some sockets, some screwdrivers, some picks. I use some power tools. You don't have to use power tools. You can use hand tools. And guys, let's go ahead and get this thing going, man. I'm excited. New parts is like Christmas come early. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and remove the door panel, because we got to do that first before we can get to removing the mirror. But before we can remove the door panel, the very first thing we got to remove is this window crank. Now this is a manual window crank, and they're a little different in the fact that, you know, your electronic windows, they usually snap in. Now manual windows, they have a little lock ring in here that we got to remove. And I'm just going to use my pick, and I'm going to get down in there behind the ring. We're going to pull it straight out. There it goes. Catch it. And then we're going to pull the window crank off. Alright, guys, now we have the window crank removed. We're going to go ahead and remove the 2 Phillips door panel bolts screws right now. Now you can use a handheld Phillips screwdriver, and go ahead and just lift up the door handle here for this one, and you can take them out like that. For sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and use my power tools. Put these in a safe place. Alright, guys, so now that we've removed the bolts, the window crank, we're going to go ahead and remove the door handle, and that's going to be accomplished by using a 10mm socket and an extension. Now you can use hand tools. By simply lifting this up, you can see and access the 10, but for sake of time, me will knock this out quickly. Again, I'm going to go to my handy tools. So we got the door handle off. Now to remove the door panel, some cars have plastic clips that go along the edges here. And if you did have that, you would go ahead and use a body panel removal tool or some kind of plastic pry bar like this one here, which would allow you not to mar up the paint. But on Dodge, these simply lift straight up and then pop out like so. Set that to the side. All Alright guys, now we're finally going to get to remove the mirror. Now, the mirror is held on by 3 10mm nuts. And these are the ones that we have to, I was showing you on the new part, that we're going to have to, that we had to access. Now, we had to go through all that. And again, you can use hand tools. You could use your 10mm and a wrench. But for sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and use my power tools. Now, before you take the last one off, reach around. Hold that. Okay. It's not going to go nowhere. Now we're going to go ahead and pull this off. So we got the old one off. As you can tell, it's broken. Now we're going to put the new one on. Stay. Always start the new nuts by hand, so that way you don't cross thread anything. Now again, you could do all this with hand tools with your wrench. I'm going to use my power tools. Put it down tight. We'll make sure that it's flush and that's mounted right, which it is. Alright guys, now we're going to put the door panel back on, which is real simple. There's these slots here for the hooks on the back of the door panel. We're just going to line those up. Make sure we get our door lock rod back where it needs to go. Now once you got this all back on, the door panel should fit flush all the way along. Okay guys, now we're going to literally put everything back together in the reverse order that we took it apart. So our first step is going to be reinstalling the door handle. We're going to need our extension for this one. Again, I'm going to use my power tools, but you can absolutely use your hand tools. Just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and reinstall our door panel screws. Don't have to worry about cross-threading anything with these guys because the backs are plastic, and then I also turned down my gun so it's about halfway, so that way it won't over tighten anything. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys this before we put the window crank back on. There's this little groove right here in the teeth here of the shaft that comes out for the window crank itself. Now that little groove allows a lock ring to fit in there, which holds the window crank itself on. Now if you look at the window crank, there's teeth in there, You can see that. There's teeth in there. That lines up with the teeth on there. And then this is the lock ring that goes onto the window crank. Now we're going to put that lock ring on there. I'm going to do this one-handed. It slides in there just like that. So when you look inside there, you can see how it sticks out. Now this is what actually holds this on there. Now we had to remove this lock ring before we could remove the window crank. Now we're going to go ahead and just line this up, spin it so it lines. And once it lines up, we're going to push it in. And you'll hear a snap. And your window will work. And it won't come off until you remove that lock ring again. Alright guys, so we just finished the project. We're just going to do a walk around, make sure the mirror's on there solid, which it is. Make sure the body line's good, which it is. It looks great. Again, not supported by TYC, but you know, not disappointed again in their product. Alright guys, we've done replaced the rear view mirror. It's done. So again, thanks for watching DIY Automotive, Mike's Garage. If you guys thought this video was helpful, informative, please go ahead and like, share, subscribe. You can even follow me on Facebook. The link will be in the description. And until next time guys, have fun, be safe, and enjoy your weekend.